Before you go,
Don't disrespect me.
No. Designation card. His designation card. No. You wind your neck. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
Any particular reason for filming a police station?
Excuse me. Is that the way you approach a member of the public around here?
Yeah, normally.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be speaking to you then.
I'm
What's going on here?
just asking why you're filming.
Because I can. What's your name and number?
First of all,
No. I'm not going to speak to you. Do you want to identify yourself?
I don't have to identify myself.
Do you want to identify yourself?
You're filming a police station.
Yeah, you identify yourself there. 2541 Jenkins. Yeah. Okay. So the reason I'm filming a police station today is because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just coming out to see if you needed any assistance.
Not at all. I'm outside the police station. If I needed assistance, I would have gone in.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just coming out to make sure you're okay.
That's fine. I'm
All
fine.
right.
You're dismissed now.
You don't dismiss
I
me.
actually do. You're a
No.
public servant. I'm a member of the public.
The situation begins with officers spreading out around him rather than starting a simple direct conversation, which immediately creates pressure before any lawful explanation is given, and it feels more like control than communication that quickly challenges reason for filming, yet Ed calmly turns the focus back on them and asks for their identification, which should be a straightforward request. Only one officer responds while another wrongly insists he is not required to identify himself, which goes against their own professional standards. Under Section 3.3.5 of their code, officers are expected to remain open and accountable, and that clearly includes giving identification when it is reasonably requested, which makes it a basic duty, not a choice. Instead of following that standard, they shift to a weak explanation that they approached only to check if he needed assistance, but that claim does not match the way they surrounded him, as a genuine welfare check would involve a calm single question, not a coordinated show of presence that feels more like the start of an interrogation and sets the tone for everything that follows.
what's your name?
I think you're following a crown servant, so you need to give your facts right.
I think we need
Excuse
to
me?
take some details off you. What's your name?
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, at the moment you're filming a police station.
What crime do you
okay?
suspect me of committing?
No, listen.
I am listening. What crime?
You're filming a police station.
What crime do you suspect
okay?
me of committing?
And at the moment, for security purposes.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Hold on a
What
second.
crime do you suspect me of
Well,
committing?
at the moment, you are filming a police station.
And what crime is
okay?
that?
I don't know what your reasons are. For
Sir, we go on
filming
what we
inside.
do know, not what we don't. So what crime do you suspect me of committing? Could you please articulate legislation? If you're not going to articulate legislation, this conversation is over.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't want to talk to us,
Yeah.
that's
So I told you,
But
you are
there's
dismissed.
There's obviously don't need to say that, do you?
Well, I'm
Right,
saying it.
The reason that I'm speaking to you is because you're filming the.
I don't
inside
care.
of
You
the
haven't
police station.
identified yourself, so I'm not going to speak to you.
PC 280
So now you want to identify
Okay.
yourself. Your policy says you have to at the beginning. All right.
Right.
Now I'll
You're
see your
also-
warrant card
you're
also.
You're also.
Show me your warrant
No,
card.
Hold on a second.
End of conversation.
They push for his personal details without pointing to any specific legal power or clear section to justify the demand, and there is no actual offense explained, only a vague claim of security concerns because he is filming near a police station, which raises a serious gap in logic because knowing his name does nothing to stop a camera or change the act of filming, and that jump in reasoning simply does not hold up. Ed then highlights a key principle, that policing must rely on facts that can be clearly explained rather than guesses about what might be happening, and that point lands with force because suspicion must be based on real grounds, not imagination. Eventually, one officer gives a name after pressure but refuses to show any form of official identification or warrant card, which weakens the credibility of their position and exposes a clear imbalance as they continue to demand openness from him while failing to meet the same standard themselves, and that contradiction leaves the entire interaction looking questionable and adds to the growing sense that their approach lacks proper foundation.
Not at all. Listen, you are not even a police constable. I suggest you hush your gums. Oh,
You need to wind your neck in.
I need to wind my neck in. Okay, so having my neck wound out is a crime, is it?
Yes, it
Is it? What
You're
crime?
being arrogant and
I'm not being
disrespectful.
arrogant.
Disrespectful.
Listen, and you're not being disrespectful to me right now by running your mouth at me.
How do I know?
Who do you think you are?
How do I know what you're doing? I don't understand what you're doing.
Listen, do you need to know?
Well,
At this
for
moment in
te-
time,
for
you're
te-
suspected for a terrorism offence.
Oh, Section 43?
Because
Section 43?
you're filming
Is that
inside-
Section 43?
You're filming inside the
Is
police
that
station.
Section 43?
You're filming inside
Is that Section
Stop
43?
interrupting
I'm
me.
asking you,
You're
Constable.
filming
I'm asking
inside
you,
of a
Constable.
police
I'm not going to
station.
speak to you anymore. Is it Section
Why are you-
43?
why are you filming
Is it
a police station
Is it
for?
because I can?
Well, at the moment, like I say, you can't.
Could you, if you want to articulate legal legislation that says I can't, then I will. Let's
The
wind it
reason we're
in.
speaking
Let's
to
wind it
you-
in. I'm going to ask you a specific question. What you just said there in regards to the terrorism, yeah, are you talking about Section 43?
I'm talking about somebody.
No. Sections. Legislation, please. Let's talk legislation.
I don't need to talk legislation.
Do you know
The
it?
reason that we're
If you're not
here-
going to talk legislation, this is over.
When an officer suddenly tells him to wind his neck in and even labels it as a crime, when challenged it reveals a serious misunderstanding of what actually qualifies as an offense, because there is no law that criminalizes someone for simply speaking back. Public order rules require clear elements like threatening or abusive conduct that could cause harm or distress, and calmly pushing back does not meet that standard the moment it is treated as criminal just because the tone is not like it shows. More about the officer's tolerance than it does about Ed's behavior. Then the familiar fallback appears with the word terrorism being used without any clear section or defined suspicion, as if saying the word alone removes the need for explanation when an officer claims there is no need to explain the law being used that exposes the deeper issue, because any use of legal power should be backed by clear reasoning and the ability to explain it. This leads into an important update worth paying attention to. There is now a platform called Underwatch arriving at a time when the legal environment across the UK is shifting rapidly, with wider powers, active enforcement, and constant changes that many people only understand once they are already involved. Underwatch is designed to keep people informed at all times, with over 100 interactive legal guides that allow users to make decisions and see how those choices impact their safety, risk, and evidence position inside the system. There is also a policing-focused AI tool that explains legal powers in a clear step-by-step way, helping users build confidence and understanding without confusion. It also includes a daily stream of UK policing updates covering real incidents, operational changes, and detailed breakdowns of misconduct cases and upcoming laws, so users can see what is actually happening. There are also practical protection tools such as a live drone. Safety map awareness features a civil claim checker, a complaint generator, and a request builder with more features planned. This platform is not built on outrage, but on the need for awareness, preparation, and protection at a time when trust is under pressure. It is set to launch soon at an accessible monthly price, and those who want full access when it goes live can find the Underwatch channel through the link provided below. Now the focus returns to the video as the situation continues to unfold with growing tension and clear questions still unanswered.
Asking you why you filming a
And
police
I'm not.
station.
If you articulate a crime which says that I am at liberty to give you that, listen, you just asked me a question.
For the camera, this gentleman is pointing a camera into a police station.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there's obviously cause for concern.
What
for
cause
that.
for concern?
Well, because of the security.
articulate
of the police
crime.
station.
No, listen. Articulate a crime to me. What? From who? From who?
From all kinds of
From who?
things. Any
What are you talking
suspicious
about? Be specific.
behaviour.
I'm being specific with
Anything
you.
that looks out of place. That's
What's
how we
what's
work.
out of place?
A person that.
All right, so I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing.
outside
I'll tell you
the
what I'm doing.
compound.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm making a story. I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm gathering content for a story. Okay, there's my reason.
And that's what we're trying to find out.
Yeah, we just told you. I didn't have to tell you,
Yeah.
but I did.
So that's what I'm asking.
No.
I'm not threatening you or
Yeah,
anything.
but
like that, the way
but
you're
listen,
talking
no,
is that we were threatening you.
because you're doing exactly what thousands of police officers do in this country. Okay, you come up to somebody expecting them not to know the law, and you start throwing accusations.
Ed keeps returning to the most basic question of all, which is what crime has been committed, and instead of giving a clear answer, they repeat the same vague security line again and again, as if repetition alone will make it sound lawful. And that pattern says everything, because if there was a real offense, it would have been stated directly without hesitation. The exchange continues to stretch out while nothing concrete is ever presented, and the lack of clarity becomes more obvious with every moment that passes. Eventually, Ed explains his presence not out of obligation but to break the deadlock and move things forward, and that decision highlights the core issue even more, because the longer they avoid naming a specific offense, the clearer it becomes that there was never a solid basis to begin with. This was not about investigating a crime, but about projecting control without the legal foundation needed to support it, and that realization shifts the entire tone of the encounter as the imbalance in authority and reasoning becomes impossible to ignore, and leaves a lasting impression of how quickly situations can escalate without proper justification.
Shit like that around it, then. Yes, you did. You came out.
You're assuming. You're assuming.
Man, what is your issue? But then why won't you let me finish speaking?
Because you're not allowed to speak.
You weren't.
But I don't have to let you speak.
We were
I wouldn't
asking.
have to let you speak.
But then go away. Go back in and do some actual police work.
As a journalist, surely you should know by asking a
just
question,
listen.
you should get an answer.
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Well, at the moment,
Can you answer yes or
I'm
no?
a bit concerned as to why you're pointing a camera into
Is
a police
concern a
station.
crime, sir?
What?
Do you suspect
I-
me of
like
a?
I s-
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Like I say, I'm trying to find out from you
Do
why
you,
you're pointing a camera.
do
in the
you
police
suspect
station.
me of a crime?
Well, at the moment, it's a bit suspicious that you're pointing a camera.
Is
at the police
suspicion a
station.
is suspicion a crime?
No, it's an inquiry.
Okay,
that
no,
will
okay,
carry
no,
out.
no, 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 no. I don't need the cops explaining bit. Let's talk facts. Is suspicion a crime?
Well, no, not.
No, okay, stop then.
we don't
Okay,
deal
stop
with
then.
just
Okay,
crimes
just yes, you
all
do.
day
But
long.
do you
No,
suspect?
it's
Do you
a
suspect?
myriad of
Do you
different things.
suspect I'm about to commit a crime?
You can.
I don't know.
You can.
Do you?
can
But if you don't know, why are you here?
When Ed locks the discussion onto a clear point and asks if they suspect him of committing a crime, the answer shifts to vague concerns, and that difference is critical because a concern is not a legal threshold, and it does not grant authority or justify demands for personal details. It becomes clear they understand this when he directly asks if holding a camera is a crime, and they admit that it is not, which should have ended the encounter. Right there, yet instead of stepping back, they continue, trying to stretch the idea of suspicion into something that can be acted upon, as if discomfort alone can be turned into legal power. What unfolds is not evidence-driven action, but pride filling the gap where justification is missing, because walking away would mean accepting that there was never a valid reason to begin with. So the conversation continues in the hope that persistence will somehow create authority. However, each added explanation only reinforces the same unavoidable truth that without a defined offense, there is no lawful power to rely on, and that realization quietly dismantles the entire basis of their position.
It's policing by consent, isn't it? Is it not policing
Yeah.
by consent?
I-
Okay, so when I'm asking you questions to try to understand why you're accosting me and you refuse to answer the
I'm
question,
not
you are,
accosting you.
you are, because
What
I'm
does
just a
accosting
normal
mean?
member of the public. Yes.
You're just trying to get.
No, I'm
You
not.
are, you're
I'm
not.
not.
No, just let me speak.
I don't care what you have to say.
Okay,
How about
that's
that?
fine.
Jog on,
That's-
off your trot.
don't-
There's snout going on
You're
around
rude
you.
now.
You're
Is rudeness a
making
crime?
yourself look silly
No,
because
but
you're
Is rudeness a crime?
being rude to
Public
us.
order
We
is.
don't have
Huh?
to engage
Public
with you.
order
if you
is.
just work.
Yeah, public order. But am I using excessive words or
no,
behaviour?
it's
So then
no,
don't
it's
listen. You don't even know what. Before you go,
Alright.
before you go.
Don't disrespect
No,
me.
no, no, no. Designation card. I want to see his designation card.
Enough is enough.
I want to see his designation
Wind your
card.
neck in and get off.
No, 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 no. You wind your neck in, off your trot, little piggies.
Good.
Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Pig.
What stands out at the end is not just raised voices, but the clear retreat after pushing for details hinting at serious claims and stretching suspicion to its limit. Another officer suddenly states there is no need to engage, and that shift is striking because they were the ones who started the contact, controlled the tone, and drove the escalation. Yet, when the questions become focused and requests for identification continue stepping away, becomes the chosen path. One officer guiding the others away speaks louder than anything said earlier and reveals more than their explanations ever did. There is also the issue of accountability, as Ed again requests identification, which should be routine, yet no warrant card is shown, and instead they leave while calling out instructions, which reflects frustration rather than professionalism. If there had been confidence in their position, the exit would have been calm and clearly explained, but instead it ends with tension and no real answers. What this moment highlights is not just a lack of knowledge, but a lack of restraint, as they were not applying any clear authority, but reacting in the moment, and once reaction took over from reasoning, the entire situation fell apart under its own weight. They entered believing authority alone would carry the exchange, and they left realizing it could not. If this breakdown brought you value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and keep accountability in focus. I am the Audit Assessor. This was episode 18, and I will see you in the next one with more insight and analysis.